Hello. Okay, are we
I
live?
thought we were doing like a countdown thingy.
I know, I usually do the countdown. Okay, I think we're live. I think we're good. Hello.
Is anybody there?
Is anybody out
Oh,
there?
17.
Happy Saturday. It's Saturday, right?
It is Saturday.
It's Saturday. It's that weird time. We're in between Christmas and New Year's.
It's a horrible week.
So it's like time doesn't exist. Time is not real, you know?
No.
But hello. Welcome to the final Book Troop monthly live show of the year. If you missed the announcement that I posted pretty recently, I'm going to be changing the Book Troop from being a monthly book club to a quarterly book club next year. So next year, instead of the 12 live shows that we've been doing, I'm only going to be doing the 4 live shows for the Book Troop next year. So so this is exciting. This is like a monumental, like, you know, the end of an era, if you will. The final monthly Book Troop live show of 2025. So thank you for joining us. This month we read Julie Chan is Dead, and I convinced my sister to read this one with me. So she is here because she read it.
I was gonna say I read it. You read that a long time
Yeah, but
ago.
I did reread.
You did?
Yeah, I listened to the audiobook to reread. Because I read this physically when I first read it back in April, and then I never got the chance to listen to the audiobook, so I did end up rereading it, listening to the audiobook. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
but hello, how's it going? Happy December. Yeah, I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and a happy new year. Let me know in the chat. I would love to know, because we are going to be, you know, talking about nothing spoilery for the start of this, and then we will jump into spoilers a little bit later on, but we'll warn you before we do that. And I would love to know if you are joining because you've read the book. I would love maybe if you could put like a black heart in the like a black heart emoji in the chat if you have read the book, and then maybe if you haven't yet read it, or if you DNF'd it, maybe you can put
red heart,
a red heart, like what other colors, a red heart emoji in the chat. And then while they do that, would you want to do a dramatic reading or just give like a non-spoilery synopsis?
I'll do dramatic reading.
Do a dramatic reading
Just for the
give it to us just for the thrills, you know?
Okay, so Julie Chan has nothing. Her twin sister has everything except a pulse.
Oh, ooh.
Julie Chan, a supermarket cashier with little to lose, finds herself thrust into the glamorous yet perilous world of her late twin sister, Chloe Van Heusen, a popular influencer. Separated at a young age, the identical twins were polar opposites and rarely spoke except for one viral video that Chloe initiated. Finding my long-lost twin and buying her house, #emotional. When Julie discovers Chloe's lifeless body under mysterious circumstances, she seizes the chance to live the life she's always envied. Transforming into Chloe is easier than expected. Julie effortlessly adopts Chloe's luxurious influencer life, complete with designer clothes and meticulous skincare routine and millions of adoring followers. However, Julie soon realizes that Chloe's seemingly picture-perfect life was anything but. Haunted by Chloe's untimely death and struggling to fit into the privileged influencer circle, Julie faces mounting challenges during a week-long island retreat with Chloe's exclusive group of influencer friends. As events spiral out of control, Julie uncovers the sinister forces that may have led to her sister's demise and realizes she might be the next target. Julie Chan is Dead is a razor-sharp, diabolical debut thriller from a promising young talent.
Wow. That was wonderful.
I kind of feel like that is spoilery.
Yeah, that gave away a lot, I think.
I didn't like that.
I feel like that last paragraph.
Like, I'm glad I didn't read that.
I feel like the last paragraph gives away some things. Like, maybe they should.
Was it needed? It just should have stopped at the first paragraph.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad they're all black hearts then.
Oh, well, thank you so much to so many who were able to read along with us this month. I hope you also had a Merry Christmas. Wow, well, that was great. Thank you for that. So yeah, this book is it's kind of wild, you know. So yeah. Do we just want to jump into ratings?
Yeah, sure. What did you guys rate it?
Yeah, I would love to know if you read this book. I would love to know what you gave this one out of 5 stars, because I do think
There's like not a single red star, just one DNF. But...
Yeah, I saw there were some up here.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
We did have a few, but there are so many black hearts, so like that's amazing. Yeah, I did.
So you gave this one a 5?
I did. Yeah, this is like my favorite thriller.
Did you still give it a 5 on your reread?
I did. This is like without a doubt like my favorite thriller that I read in the year of 2025. But I mean, I was really surprised that I loved this as much as I did, because I don't usually love thrillers that are about twins. I'm just kind of like over the twin stuff sometimes in thrillers. It's like very overdone for me. And then I also don't love thrillers that involve influencers, because that's another thing that I'm just kind of like over it sometimes. Yeah. So I was really surprised that I loved this one as much as I did, because it has things that I typically don't like that much.
I am surprised you liked it.
But I just love this. It was unhinged. It was silly, stupid, ridiculous. It had great commentary. And then also like the ending for me just got absolutely unhinged in like the most fun way. And so yeah, that's it's a 5-star for me. How did you feel about it without spoilers? Tell me your thoughts.
I gave this book 3 stars. It's just got like, I think the premise was interesting, but there are like way too many like loopholes and just like unrealism that just like made me just like sit there and laugh at it. You know, like I couldn't enjoy it because I was just like, and I don't like campy horror. That's like not my thing. And I feel like it got there sometimes. And it's just like, I'm more of like a realistic horror lover. You know, like I like more of like a psychological horror. That's more my niche. This was a lot more like fun and like horror. And I just like I think it's like cheesy.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know how to go into it without saying spoilers, because there's a lot of reasons why I didn't like it as much, but for the most part, I feel like it had a really strong concept and I really liked the idea of it. But like, I'm married to a twin. And like, I just feel like you can't take over somebody's life. You can't. Yeah. You can't get away with it. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, but that's the fun of it.
I know, but it's unrealistic. It's like, you know, like someone knows. Someone will know. And it's just, I don't know. I don't want to give spoilers. I'll just stop talking.
I think I have a lot of fun with books that do something like that. Like I love the premise of like somebody trying to take over someone else's life. That's like one of my favorite kind of things to read. Like that's something I really love. And I feel like it was, yeah, like I feel like I was obviously like you have to suspend your disbelief with that a little bit, but I also think, yeah, like the dark humor, like there's something about the writing in this one specifically, like the writing just really worked for me in this. And I'm so surprised because this is a debut book, by the way. Like this is this author's first book, and I just thought it was really impressive because I feel like it's really hard to do this style of like dark comedy, because I feel like sometimes you can have like a main character who seems very like unlikable, you know? And so it's hard, I think, to pull off a story like this where you have a main character who's not very likable. Like she's literally taking over the life of her dead sister, you know? But I don't know. I was very impressed with the quality of the writing in this, and the very like dark comedy and like on the nose commentary about, you know, like social media and like that culture and like I don't know. But I did want to ask also, well, something I thought I would mention too is the fact that Rachel listened to this one on audio. It was her first ever audiobook. So like that's exciting. And I wonder like how did you enjoy, like without spoilers, but how did you enjoy the audiobook experience compared to like reading physically in the past?
Well, I liked like being able to like multitask. That was really nice. But I did feel like I almost like I got through it faster, which I liked, but I didn't get to like savor it as much because it was kind of just like on to the next, where I feel like as like when I'm reading, I'll reread a part because I'm like, wait, you know, like when you find out something like a plot twist, you're like, let me just make sure I read that right.
Yeah.
I didn't really get to do that. So like sometimes I could tell that I kind of like, I'd be like, wait, I forgot that one part when I'd pick it up again. But like it was very nice. It was very convenient because I was able to work and read it, which when I'm working, it's not like I have to I'm still invested in the book. It's not like I have to completely take away my attention from it.
Right.
But yeah, it was really nice. I really liked it, and I will probably do that again in the future because
hell yeah.
it only took me like less than a week. So
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, and the audiobook was really good. I got the chance to listen to the audiobook this time on my reread, and I loved the audiobook. I thought it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. Yeah, so I guess before we jump into spoilers, one of the final things I'll ask before we jump into spoilers is like, how did you feel about like the pacing of the book? Like, because since this is described as like a thriller, like, did you find it very fast paced and like very engaging and like hard to put down? Because I think that was one of my biggest positives about this was that when I was reading it, I literally could not put this down. Like every single chapter end, I was like, oh, like I have to read the next chapter immediately.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I felt throughout most of this book. So like, did you enjoy the pacing for the most part?
Yeah, it wasn't like I had to I got bored and I put it down. It was like I had to do something, so I had to put it down. It wasn't, and I wasn't ever like, oh, like I have to read that book. The reason why I just gave it -2 stars was just because I didn't like some choices that were made, but it wasn't like it was boring. You know, like it was still a good fast-paced thriller, I think.
Nice.
I mean, I definitely think the ending was like, but I still was like, huh?
Yeah.
You know, like I'll read it. So the curiosity never left, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've been talking for about 11 minutes, so I think we're just going to go ahead and jump into spoilers because I feel like there's a lot to talk about with this one with spoilers. So if you haven't yet read the book, this is where we're going to be jumping into some spoilers here. And I guess one of my first spoilery questions that I had was kind of about, you know, talking about like the different tones throughout this book, right? So like, you know, like the first half of this book, in my opinion, it definitely reads more like a thriller. And then the second half of this book definitely reads a little bit more like a horror. So I was wondering, like, with the first half and the second half of the book feeling so different, like, did it make it feel like you were like reading two different books, or did it feel like that worked for the story for you, or did you have a preference with like you enjoyed the first half more or the second half more?
It definitely felt like two different books, and I really liked the first half.
Like, was the first half like 5 stars for you? Like, you
I wouldn't say it was ever 5 stars for me, but I really liked it. It was leaning more towards like 4.5, 4 stars in the beginning, just because I did like the idea of it, and I was like, how is she gonna get out of this? That was like my constant thinking, and like it was interesting. It's like one of those like Disney movie life switches where they like, you know, have a completely opposite life and they get to like live this extravagant life. Like it literally felt like Monte Carlo or like, you know, like one of those Disney movies. Like I actually enjoyed it more as like this, God forbid, like Disney style movie. Like I felt like that was actually interesting and like it was entertaining to see her like, oh shit, like I have to act like I know this influencer, or you know, like I have to act like this completely other girl because that's not me, and like, you know, living a life in New York because she never got to experience that, or like living like a rich person, you know, like I always think those kind of stories are interesting because it's just so like unique to see how she's gonna get out of it or how she's gonna fool everybody. But what I did think was the biggest problem for me, I just felt like it was convenient that she didn't have a partner. I think it was just convenient because I would have really loved to see the writing on her trying to fake out Chloe's partner. Because like it's just like a little too convenient that she didn't have anybody close to her, like nobody living with her. Her sister, she didn't have to fake out.
Well, yeah, but I think that's also commentary about like that lifestyle.
Yeah, like
right?
influencers, like they don't have anybody in their life. But I mean, to a T, like I feel like a lot of influencers and people still like rich have marriages or have like somebody close in their life.
Yeah. But
I don't know. I just felt like that was like my one niche because I was just like, I mean, like of course it's gonna be easy for her to just like whatever, but like the constant like nobody was picking up. I mean, I did think it was interesting though, that one video of that fan who's like, she's changed bodies or whatever, and like it was like 10 minutes long and it was like this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like that was actually interesting, and I kind of wish they went more into that because it would have been more interesting for people like trying to see if she's like actually Chloe and like turning into like that kind of story.
Yeah.
Versus like the way it went to like this whole island thing. I did not give a fuck about any of the clique. I didn't care about her boss. I didn't care, or her boss, or I don't know what the fuck. What even is she to her? I don't know.
Belladonna girls.
Yeah, her friends, whatever. I didn't care about that. And like, I literally got like, oh, like when she was like going through her diary and she was trying to find like what happens at this island. I was like, okay, is this where the story is going? Because I do not care about this. And I was really upset to be like, oh, so they killed Chloe. Like, I was just like, okay, like, I just don't think that was like the fun point of the story. And I feel like they kind of missed the direction. Like, I feel like it should have stayed with her trying to like escape the police or her trying to like fake everybody out. Like, the way they all just like knew that she was Julie and were like okay with it. Like,
yeah.
That was so stupid, in my opinion. Like,
yeah.
Do you think? Like, I don't know.
I
just didn't like it. It's just.
I really enjoyed that even too, though, because I feel like that was commentary about how like shallow influencers are and how they'll just be like, oh, like we don't even care if you're still Chloe. Like it does. That's not what matters to them. You know, like people aren't what matters to them. It's more about like image and like, I don't know. Like I feel like that was commentary as well.
Oh, and also a thing I didn't like either was when her aunt called her and she immediately admitted that she was Julie.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Well, first of all, don't even answer the phone.
Well, no, but it was that her aunt called her and then her aunt, like, she missed the phone call or something. And then the voicemail was like her saying, oh, like, Julie needs to pick up the phone or whatever. And she like made the assumption that they already knew that she was Julie. And then it's like she called her aunt back like later on.
Right.
And yeah, that was something that bothered me because I was like, she didn't need to call back her aunt and then get like blackmailed, you know?
That's what I'm saying. Like she was like, oh, you're Julie, aren't you? And she was like, yes. Like it was just like, girl, like you're literally doing a huge crime. Like why would you even waste your time with this? Like why did you admit it right away? I just felt like that was so.
Yeah, I agree that scene shouldn't have happened, like the way that she was like overly confident and she thought that she could like, if she was fooling everybody else around her, that she could also fool her aunt.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that was a little bit like unnecessary. But yeah, I don't know. I personally loved how the first half like went into the second half and the second half just got more and more unhinged because I feel like for my taste in like thrillers, like I'm always wanting the second half to feel like more horror or to just go like completely bonkers towards the end. Like that's like my kind of favorite thing. Like I want it to go like off the rails, insanity, and like kind of be like hard to predict where the story's going. Like I want to be surprised, and I feel like this just had everything for me. And I love the way that the second half started to feel more like a hive mind with these influencers, and almost like the way that it was almost like culty, the way that they would all just like think the same way. And like,
well, once it got like religious, I was like, okay, I'm done.
Well, it wasn't religious necessarily.
They had to like sacrifice something to the god.
Yeah, that felt more like culty than like religious to me. But yeah, I don't know. I loved how like crazy bonkers wild that got towards the end. And yeah, as far as like Julie as a character, because I definitely wanted to touch on like how did you feel about Julie as a character, and like did you enjoy following from her point of view? Because I feel like Julie to me was such an interesting character because like right at the start of this book, you know, she's like at a really like low point in her life, you know, where she's not like necessarily jealous of her sister, but she's kind of like envious of that lifestyle. Like her sister had such a better, you know, setup of life of like getting adopted into this rich family that lives in New York and then like becoming an influencer and having a lot of success. And then like, whereas like she's like, you know, living with her aunt and like working as a cashier and just kind of like, but like also the way that she still describes her sister as like, if she called me, I would pick up. Like, you know, it's like she still has like love for her sister. And I think Julie's character goes through such an interesting like journey throughout this book because I feel like it's so interesting to see how at the beginning of the book, she's so judgmental, right, about like Chloe's lifestyle and like how could anybody ever like, you know, spend that much money and whatever. But then it was so interesting to see that like as soon as she gets put in the actual shoes of Chloe and starts to see her lifestyle, it's so crazy how quickly
she gets to.
Well, it's just so crazy to me how quickly she gets like, used to that world and like starts to become a very shitty, shallow person herself. Like the way that writing was done there was so
Right, but
brilliant
she
to
has
me.
to be replicating Chloe, though.
I know, but even like her mindset and like what she actually believes, like I feel like her morals just go out the window, you know. And I think that that's really interesting. And also like just like little things with like being an influencer, when she's like, oh, like I didn't realize like how much rent would cost in New York City, and how she has all these people working for her that she has to pay their salaries, and like, you know, all these different things. Like I just thought that commentary was so interesting. And I feel like the commentary in general about like influencer culture, you know, I thought was really really entertaining and like really on the nose with this. Like when she would get the like better help you know, like sponsor or whatever, that was like better therapy or whatever. And like you said, that one scene where the girl basically like calls her out and is like having video evidence of like, this is why Chloe is not who she says she is anymore, and it's actually Julie, and she has all this evidence. And the way that Julie goes and like makes this video being like, oh my god, you guys, like grief changes you, and like I'm not the same person I once was, and like how dare you. And she has all the belladonnas like go onto their stories to like shame this girl who made this story about her. And then the way that the girl like reaches out to her in the DMs and she's like, I'm so sorry, like I never should have done that. And she responds with the like, if you need help, here's a link to BetterHelp, #ad, #whatever. Like, dude, like the satire was taking me out. Like that was so funny. Like that was ridiculous, you know? And I loved, yeah, like the satire about the influencer stuff, top notch. Like that was so hilarious. And I just feel like this author just really nailed it. But I do think it's impressive how Julie became kind of such an unlikable character throughout the book, but it was still so fun to follow her perspective. Like I was still really engaged with her as a character the entire time. So yeah. I
also didn't like when like why would Chloe call Julie?
Because she,
I know, but like why?
Like, I mean, like you said, like she didn't really have anybody, you know?
I know, but why wouldn't she call the police? Why would she be calling Julie?
Well, because she like needed help to get out of it, right? Or whatever was happening.
Yeah, but if she's dying,
yeah,
like why wouldn't she call a paramedic, an ambulance? Why is she calling Julie?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
I mean, I think she's calling her because, like you said, she doesn't have anybody. She doesn't know anybody.
She's not gonna get to in time.
Well, I don't think it was about getting to her in time. I think it was about saying goodbye, right? Like if she knew she was dying, then she knew she didn't have that much time.
She doesn't care about Julie. She even said to her friends, like, she's a weirdo. She's gonna ruin my reputation.
Well, yeah, she said that to her friends, but those friends weren't real friends either.
Right, but like, she doesn't care about Julie though, like at all. Yeah. She only saw her one time in her life. I don't know. I just think that's weird. Like, isn't that convenient for our story? That of course she calls Julie. I don't know. I just feel like that's unrealistic.
Why Julie called Chloe and said she was sorry, it was all my fault. Well, that's what I mean, right? She was more like calling to like ease that burden of like guilt, right? Like it wasn't necessarily about saving her life. It was about like saying goodbye to her and like kind of apologizing. Yeah, what did you think about like, because I know like the island scenes, like you mentioned you didn't like, but what did you think about like that kind of like plot twist, I guess you would say, about finding out that Chloe was the one who like put her own parents in danger, and like she was the one to like sacrifice them essentially? Because I thought that was like, what, like shocking to learn about. And like how that one woman was gonna like sacrifice her baby or whatever, or like they wanted to sacrifice the baby. I just thought all of that was like crazy.
Yeah.
I thought that was really surprising. Like I definitely didn't see that coming with, I mean, I'm not sure what I thought honestly happened to like Chloe's parents, but I definitely didn't think that she was involved.
Surprising, like, yes. Did I like it? No. I thought like, oh, convenient. Her parents are out, so now they really can't tell that it's Julie. You know. Right. Convenient again.
So if you didn't enjoy the ending, then like what did you want to see happen?
I wanted her to go to jail.
Julie to go to jail?
Yeah, and like the whole world to find out, because like they do, right? At the end, it ends on like this cliffhanger, and she's like, I didn't kill my sister. Or whatever the fuck. like, I wanted that, like, blow-up scene. I wanted everybody to find out. I wanted her to deal with the wrath of the internet.
I mean,
she's an influencer.
The blow-up scene was technically, like, all the Belladonnas, like, confessing, right, that they all know.
It's not a blow-up
that she's Julie.
They don't care.
Yeah.
I wanted it, like, people that cared to be like, what? Like, put her in her place. Like, you took your sister's life?
Mm-hmm.
You weirdo. Like, do you even care? Like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Like, she didn't have to deal with any consequences. And I hate when the characters don't have to deal with consequences. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say she never dealt with consequences, but yeah, and the whole BetterHelp thing had me laughing. I do agree that she kind of changed her morals. That's what I mean. Like, I love the writing there about how she had morals before, you know, and then, like, her morals just, like, went out the window after she took over Chloe's life. Mm-hmm. Before the sacrifice reveal, I thought Chloe caused the accident. Oh, so you did see that one coming? That's interesting. Oh, Ito saves her.
Yeah. Like, off the island.
Yeah. I don't know. I loved the ending of this. Like, I will admit, when I was on my reread, I thought the ending, like, dragged out a little bit, like, a few chapters too long, because I thought it, like, wrapped up a little bit quicker. But I do love how it just ended with the way it began, because, like, I love that in books where you kind of, like, you don't realize at the start of it, because, like, the very first line of the book is, one thing needs to be made clear: I did not kill my twin sister. Like, that's, like, the first line. And then I love how the very last line of the book is, one thing needs to be made clear: I did not kill my twin sister. Like, I kind of love that kind of foreshadowing. Like, the first line of the book is the last line of the book. I just think that's really interesting. And I don't know, I feel like she did, like, I mean, it's not like the book didn't end with, like, nobody found out, because she does say, like, today I will step into the light, not as Chloe, but as Julie Chan. And so, like, she is, like, you know, it's not like she's still continuing to be Chloe at the end. Like, she is coming out as, like,
we just
she's
don't
Julie.
get to see that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the Belladonnas were so deep into their own delusions that they wouldn't have viewed it like that, I don't think. Like, they were almost relieved that Julie had a dark secret like they did. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean, because I feel like that scene was so powerful, because it was them, like, not only acknowledging that, like, they don't really care that she's not Chloe and that she's actually Julie, but that they probably have their own dark shit too, and that's why they don't care, you know, and, like, they're that shallow that they, like, don't actually care, you know? Yeah, the cult aspect reminded me of Hereditary and Midsommar. That's interesting. The all thing with Ito had me like, how can they believe this bullshit? Right? It's a good full circle moment. So for the ending, you just wanted to see Julie go to jail and get caught?
No, but I would just, like, would have loved to see it, like, actually get into, like completely scrap the island shit, and just, like, her still trying to fake it, and, like, them, like, all figuring it out on the internet, and, like, just, like trying to find her, like she has to, like, get out of New York, or, like, she has to, like, make this new life for herself, or I don't know, like, it just would have been more interesting for her trying to like, convince the public or get out of the public space, instead of this whole, like, whatever the fuck, I don't care about Belladonnas, I don't care about the island. Like, I just feel like once it got to that, I was like, okay, like, well, this is completely, like, deviating from the story. Like, maybe it's not because they killed Chloe, but, like, I still just, like, I don't know. I feel like it just didn't matter to me. So, like, I just wanted it to have a different ending.
Yeah, I wanted the Belladonnas to have killed Chloe and try to kill Julie too, but the chaotic cult thing was fun too. I'm glad they never confirmed if Ito was real. Overall, the story didn't really work for me, but I also can't say what I really wanted from the story either. I had a feeling that the Belladonnas had something to do with Chloe's death. Yeah, I think the story definitely only works as a satire, but I think that's why I enjoyed it so much. And I did want to touch on too, because, like, there were some really, like, strong commentary moments for me with, like, not only, like, influencer culture, but also just about, like, the unfairness of social media in general. Like, I really loved, there was this one conversation they were having on page 73 when they were talking about how, like, oh my god, like, being an influencer is just so hard. Like, it's so much work. And they literally said, it's like, try being an influencer for a day. Like, they're comparing their job to other people. And I'm like, that is literally a direct quote from that one influencer girl who, like, made that video that was like, try being an influencer
Michaela.
for a day. Yeah, like working my 9 to 5, like, and then I have to work, like, you know, and I just thought that was so funny because they were literally saying how easy it would be to have a job where you work on the clock. They're like, I'm just so tired all the time. Every day I'm on the clock, work out at 5, meeting at 7, sponsored brunch at 11, then I'm vlogging all day until 6, not to mention the emails. Like, bitch, please, you know, it's just so like, but like this is happening, you know, like this is happening in our real world, and that's why I think it's so funny and like so on the nose. But then also, not only was it like very funny and like just satire about influencers, but then also there was this quote from one of the other characters that was talking about how like social media is inherently unfair, and I do really love this message here, but I also do think it's like almost very on the nose, like very, very on the nose. But when she talks about how because like one of the white girls says social media creates an equal playing field for everyone, and then the other girl says, equal, is that a joke? You do realize the basis of social media starts offline, right? Social media is inherently unequal. I mean, even if we disregard race entirely, there are so many barriers to accessibility. Who can afford a phone? Who has access to stable internet? Who has time to scroll and learn about trends instead of clocking into a double shift to feed their families? Even what country you're born into affects it. There's nothing equal about social media. Sure, once in a blue moon, it uplifts creators from undeserved backgrounds, but that's like finding a unicorn amidst a stable of horses. And I was like, that is accurate as fuck. And I just love how this book really like went into that, you know, because, you know, like Chloe's character is Asian and Julie is also Asian, but the way that most of these girls in this like Belladonna's group are all a bunch of white girls, you know. And so I really appreciated that commentary, and I do think like that was really needed.
Izzy wasn't white, right?
Yeah, I think there was one other
That's the girl who said it though.
Izzy, right? Izzy. Yeah. But that's what I mean. And then like of course, like she was the first one to have like something happen to her, right? Because she wasn't like fitting in with the group or like getting into this like herd mentality with all of these girls. So I also think it was just like all those conversations were like very on the nose, to the point where it was like almost a little bit too on the nose for me. Because sometimes I like my social commentary to be a little bit more like subtle, I guess. But I do appreciate the commentary, and I think it was so like that conversation was so good, you know, because then you have all of these white girls being like, but I worked so hard to get where I am, and it's like nobody's saying you didn't work hard, you know, like they're just saying you didn't have to work as hard, right? Like so I don't know, I really appreciated that commentary too, and I thought even in a book that's like as satirical as this, I appreciated that like real world commentary too. Yeah, several conversations that felt like shades of truth. Yeah.
I guess it's like, at the bottom line, I just didn't really care about reading about an influencer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, I mean, you don't.
Yeah. I think like
I get they're making fun of it, but at the same time, like, I still have to read and think about an influencer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like you either like the topic or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've just noticed it's really hard for me to care about, or like when I'm like reading a book, if the main character is like really rich. Yeah. It's harder for me to, and like I know that's the point because Julie's not. So like you're supposed to feel like you're Julie,
mm-hmm.
like living in this rich girl's body. Right. And that's why I think I liked the first half so much, because it was like it was relatable. Like, what would you do if you had this opportunity? Of course you would do it.
Right.
But like once it kind of grips away from that, it kind of just gets like, okay. And then Julie turns into this like,
well, that's what I mean. It's almost
like I lost it. Like it just wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah, it's like it's showing how like the herd mentality can even like influence you to like be a certain way, you know, or like that scene where they're all like trying to like manifest things or by like saying it out loud, and they're like, you will grow to be strong, you will grow to be rich, you will grow to be loved. And it's like by saying it out loud they think it's like manifestation, like it does happen. But it's really like interesting to me to see how quickly Julie just like falls into the same patterns as these other girls, you know, like I just thought it was interesting. Yeah, maybe had she gone all in and actually described the burning flesh of the mass murder, but she chickened out and moved on in the trial. Yeah, how did you because like everybody talks about the mouse scene in this book as like one of the most like grotesque things. Like that was some gnarly shit.
It was stupid.
And they were eating the mouse while it was still alive. Yeah, that was something. That was definitely something.
It was just stupid that Julie did it. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
sorry,
I liked
what?
too. There was that scene where they like gave everybody pills and they were like, you have to take this or whatever.
I'd be like, you got me. I'm Jolie. I'm leaving. Like, I don't care.
Yeah. But they like
Crazy.
tricked that girl into like everybody had to take the pill, and then after they all took it, they were like, those were sugar pills, and that was like your initiation to like see if you were
Yeah, I would
willing
leave.
to do anything.
I would leave.
But that's what I mean. It's just so unhinged, like crazy shit. But yeah. Let's see what else. So I guess, well, is there anything else specific that you wanted to talk about, like that you liked or disliked?
Nothing specific. I kind of already just. I think I talked about everything that bothered me.
Yeah, because well, one of my questions would be like, since this is a debut book, would you read more from this author in the future? Like, do you think that this author's writing could work for you again in the future, or was it just this story specifically?
Yeah, I'd read from her again.
Yeah, because I'm so curious to see what this author is gonna do next. Because I think since this book is so hard to kind of like categorize with like genre, you know, with it being like thriller, horror, like I'm really curious to see what this author does next, because I would love to see this author like write more horror stuff, you know, after like the way the second half of this book went. But I think I'm so excited to see what this author does in the future. Yeah, I love the tone here. I forgot about the mouse nails. Sorry to remind you. Okay, cool to know. And then also, like, one of my last questions that I like to ask in these live shows is like, what, you know, like book, movie, or TV show would you recommend? Like, if you enjoyed this, maybe you could check out this other thing that has like similar vibes, or like, you know, I don't know, or maybe if you didn't enjoy this, maybe you could like read this or watch this instead because it has like similar themes, but like you think that does it better. Because I know for me, one that immediately comes to mind, like after I finished this, I was like, this is so similar to Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. And I think, I don't know if like which one I'd prefer, to be honest, because both of these were some of my like top favorite books of the year. But I do think Yellowface is one that I would recommend if you enjoyed Julie Chan is Dead, or if you wanted something similar, because I think Yellowface is similar in the way that like we have a main character who you know, like right at the start of this book, her best friend dies, and we follow this white girl in this book, and her best friend, who's Asian, she dies right at the start of this book, and then this white girl takes her manuscript and publishes it as her own. And even though this manuscript is about, you know, like Asian characters as well, and she's this white girl, and this book was so good. This one had a lot of similar like social commentary, but it also kind of had the similar like stealing somebody's, you know, thing and making it their own. But then I also think it kind of reminded me of Bunny by Mona Awad, which I think is also such a huge compliment to this book, because I loved Bunny so much, and I feel like this one also has like, if you liked the belladonna's stuff in this book with kind of like the herd mind and like that kind of a thing, then I do think you would really enjoy Bunny as well if you haven't read it. But yeah, let me know your thoughts. I saw a lot of people mention Bunny. Yeah, I'm glad you could pick up on that similarity as well. I think another one, it kind of reminded me of the movie Blink Twice. That's another one that I could see some comparisons to, at least like the island stuff in the second half of this book. That kind of reminded me of the movie Blink Twice, the one with Channing Tatum.
I was gonna say Ready or Not, but not even nearly that good.
Ready or Not?
I mean, I think Ready or Not, I like the concept a lot more. But I don't know. I don't like read or watch or anything that's like this. So like
Rouge vibes.
I usually stay away from like influencer campy stuff. So I don't like I can't think of anything that's like this.
Yeah, there is a movie that's called like just called Influencer,
or maybe Ingrid Goes West or something. I don't know.
Yeah, Ingrid Goes West is a good one.
But it's just influencer though. It's not like twin or taking the life of somebody else or something like that.
Yeah, there's this movie called Influencer that came out in 2022. This one's like a horror movie, and I thought it was very entertaining. And it's kind of about this influencer. It says when she goes on a solo backpacking trip in Thailand, social media influencer Madison meets CW, and it's about like her trip going wrong. I thought it was very entertaining. And that one has like an influencer in it as well. I know, me too. I was like, this is literally like Bunny. Oh my god, the writing retreat. Yes. Thank you.
So I wouldn't like that one.
How did I not think of that?
Mm.
Right. My first thought was that if you didn't like this, you will. Oh wait, my first thought was if you didn't like this, you will hate Yellowface. Oh, you think? Yeah. Where did you get your large black reading light?
Which one?
My large black reading light? Is it in the room with us? I don't know.
Like in her videos or like right here?
I actually am not sure. Peter Swanson every value break because of the second half surprise. Ooh, okay, the menu. That's a cool one. Get Out, blink twice. Nice. Oh, it also reminds me of American Horror Story. Oh, so maybe my book rec would be Delicate Condition. Okay. Yeah, it's hard to successfully do on Hinge like Bunny. I agree. Yeah. Me too. I also love in books where they like go to a remote island. Like that's one of my favorite things to read about. So I think that's why that worked for me too. Oh yeah, what's that book about the girl whose sister is an influencer and she goes missing? Oh, like maybe Such a Bad Influence. I think that one would be good too. The Pretty Little Liars books had a twin trope, so it reminded me of that.
Yeah. Pretty Little Liars for sure.
All right. I can see it.
I wasn't really into that, so that makes sense.
You didn't like Pretty Little Liars?
The whole first thing of it. Not the new HBO Pretty Little Liars. I'm talking about the OG.
You didn't like the OG?
It's Lucy Hale and all that. No, it's okay. It's just like, I don't know. I like watched some episodes like here and there. My best friend was like really into it growing up, but I always just thought it was like, okay. Like it's like very teen like. I'd much rather watch like Teen Wolf or like The Vampire Diaries.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm gonna watch like a young show, I'll watch those instead.
Right.
Because you're either like a Pretty Little Liars girl or you're like a Teen Wolf or Vampire Diaries.
Right.
I don't know.
Maybe. All right. Well, I think that just about wraps up this live show unless we had anything else we wanted to talk about. Can I grab this? So next year, as I mentioned, the book troop is going to be changing from a monthly live show to a quarterly live show. So for next winter, we're going to be reading the new Alice Feeney, My Husband's Wife. I'm very excited to read this one. This one is actually publishing
next winter or January?
This winter.
So like February.
Yeah, the live show is going to be in February. This book is publishing January 20th, so it's going to be coming out pretty soon here, and I'm so excited. I've heard great things. Like, everybody who's reading this is saying that it's the best Alice Feeney yet, which is very high praise, because I have really enjoyed a lot of books from Alice Feeney, so I am very excited to read this one in winter. We'll be having the live show like towards the end of February, most likely. But this is going to be our next pick, and we'll see if we can get this one on the live show for February.
This one as in me?
This one, yeah. I will be joined by my friend Jan to discuss this one. But we'll see if we can get Rachel to join as well. And then, if you haven't heard yet, for our spring pick next year, we're going to be reading The Caretaker by Marcus Kliewer. How exciting. And this one is going to be publishing on April 21st. And then we're probably going to be having the live show for this like towards the end of May. And this is one that I'm so excited about because it's from the same author as We Used to Live Here, which is one of my favorite horror books ever. So I'm really excited for this one.
We Used to Live Here.
Yeah, really excited for these upcoming picks. We have some good stuff coming up. And thank you so much for joining and for being a part of this final monthly Book Troop live show. Like, how crazy is that? So thank you for being here. Yeah, have a happy new year. Woo! I know. I'm also hoping these will be Book of the Month selections. That would make it easier, I think so. Yes, thank you.
Book of the Month?
It's like cheap to sign up, but then I think monthly it's like $17.99.
That's not bad.
But it's for a new hardcover book, and hardcover books these days are between like $25 to $30.
Book?
You pay for a credit each month. That gets you one book.
One book? Wow.
$17.99, but like a hardcover in a bookstore is like $25 to $30 for one. So like $17.99, and sometimes they have new releases, which is amazing. Like, you can't get it anywhere else. It's an early release.
Okay.
But thank you so much, Autumn. I've enjoyed so many live shows. I'm excited for the seasonal picks next year. Thank you. I'm excited as well. Thank you. Happy holidays. Yes, happy new year. Happy new year. I hope you have a good rest of your Saturday and a good rest of your weekend, and we will see you next time. Bye.